Years ago when the museum first started, a good friend of mine and I were asked to fly out, and we were looking for an old airplane. And the airplane was flown by Ptarmigan Air Service. It was called the Ptarmigan II. And it had supposedly crashed at Iditarod. So they asked if they could use my airplane. I'd fly a few people out there. We went out there, and sure enough, here's the hulk of a fuselage sitting there. And we went out and made arrangements to have it flown back to town, and it just kind of bit you. It kind of gave you a nice bug. And then knowing the history of aviation up here and how much I love aviation on it, this is one of the most magical things in the world. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. You go back and you look at Jay Hammond's old airplane that he used to fly up here. You look at some of the planes out in western Alaska. I got to know Richard Ween and some of the stuff from the Ween family, and it's just exciting. And I was in the car business for 40 years. And cars are cars, but airplanes are magic.
I've been working on airplanes since I was a kid, and I still enjoy it. It's more of a hobby, and I've been fortunate for most of my life to make a pretty good living at my hobby. And the museum allows me to come out here and tinker with a lot of different things, and get involved with the people here. And I enjoy the company, the camaraderie, and I enjoy the tourists that come through. It's really satisfying to sit down with people and talk about airplanes. I've actually only worked on 2 restorations. The first one was the Waka, the little cabin biplane, and the second one was the Pilgrim, which is just finished last year before last. But I did the restoration on those plywood floats also. That was a 3-year project to restore those floats, and it's really satisfying to complete something.
I was pretty much raised on the lake here, so I was a line boy at the age of 16, refueling float planes for Big Red's Flying Service on Lake Hood. Sold my first airplane on the North-South runway here when I was 17 years old, and it just gives me an opportunity to be around airplanes. And somebody told me a long time ago that any time spent in or around airplanes is not subtracted from your lifespan, and I've sort of taken that to heart, and it gives me an opportunity to be in that environment. The biggest advantage to becoming a member of the museum is the fact that you help the museum, and that's really, I think, the motivating factor. The benefits to the member are quite numerous also, including 15% discount at the gift shop, being able to come and go and never have to pay. A lot of people find an advantage to having a company come up, and it's not one of those things where they say, hey, you guys go on through, I've already paid and I've already seen it, I'll just sit out here on the hard wooden bench and wait for you. You get to go through and be their guide, and sit out at the picnic table on a nice summer day, come in and out at will, play on the simulators, sit in the tower, watch the airplanes land and take off, and of course a substantial discount on rentals for the facility. There's a lot of pluses for being a member here.
Hello, my name is Rob Stapleton, and I'd like to welcome you to the Alaska Aviation Museum, and thank you for being a member. One of the great things about this museum is you can learn about the history of Alaska as well as the history of aviation in Alaska. You can go from the Douglas World Cruisers here, or you can go back to the recently refurbished 1931 Fairchild Pilgrim. But one of the most important things about airlines is the people, not just the aircraft. Our latest and greatest achievement is getting this 1930s Fairchild 71, which will be rebuilt, refurbished, that was originally flown by Bob Reeve with Reeve Airways. And then, of course, there's the new Merrill-Field cab, 360-degree view of the airport and of Lake Hood. So from the Alaska Aviation Museum to you and your families, we thank you for your membership, and be sure to remember, we've got something here for you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays.